Good evening and welcome back to AskTinaK. Today's problem is one that has been cropping up a lot over the last 2 years, and I know we've had it on the Elaine show when I was on there on Virgin Media, but I had this in from a lady during the week who is desperately worried about her 21-year-old daughter, who it turns out has been in a relationship with a man who is nearly 40 for the last over a year. They'd been going out together for over a year before the daughter came clean and told her about him. Anyway, she has met this man. He is from the west of Ireland, and she just hasn't, she has a gut feeling that there is something not right with him. There's just something she doesn't like. Anyway, he decided he wanted to come up and work in Dublin, and the daughter begged her to let him come and stay while he finds accommodation. And she has heard discussions in the house where it's not arguments, because the daughter is very, very quiet. He's doing all the arguing and threatening to leave her. And she said that her daughter, she's never seen her cry as much as she has done over the last 18 months. Now, this girl suffers badly from anxiety. The guy apparently has had her down to his house in the west of, well, it's not his house, it's his parents' house, in the west of Ireland 3 times. And on all 3 occasions, wait for it, he has snuck her into the house, and she has been basically captive in his bedroom, not allowed to leave. And if he has to go out for anything, I mean, if she needs the bathroom or anything, no, she has to stay hidden in the bedroom. I just, the idea of him taking her all the way over to the West, not to introduce her to his family, seems ludicrous. But anyway, that's what happened, and she's gone along with it. But she does feel, she's worried that, if she has to go back, she hates being locked away in this room while he carries on an ordinary everyday life. Anyway, this lady is asking me, have I any idea of how she can get her daughter to see sense? She's tried speaking to her, but the daughter always says, oh, no, it's not him, it's me, I'm the one who's at fault. So, she's in denial, won't have a word said wrong about him, but is clearly, she reckons, a bit frightened of him. Anyway, yeah, my advice to you, I, as I say, have seen this more and more over the last 2 years since lockdown. They all reared their ugly heads because there was no escape anymore. So it became far more apparent, where in the past, at least they'd be going out to work and maybe you could see your friends for a little while. Yeah, that was the other thing. He does not like her to see any of her friends. He says they're unsuitable, and he doesn't want her to wear makeup or the clothing she used to wear, because it's not attractive. He prefers her with no makeup and very uninteresting, dowdy clothes. And no to the friends. No, they're not suitable. Anyway, remember, this guy is twice her age nearly. So this, I have seen it so many times coming into me, and it has to do with a bit of a narcissist where he has to be completely in control. Now, as I said to, her mother on the Declan Meehan show, I think the whole reason she didn't know about him for a year is that he didn't want her to tell her parents about him for a year, so he could really get his nails into her. So, work on the old brain, knock her down a bit so that she would, not let her see anyone, so she would become completely dependent on him. It's a bit like, the old Stockholm syndrome where you just become so used to your captor that it just becomes the norm and you don't think twice about it. Anyway, all family and friends have to be eradicated with these people because it doesn't work unless they get rid of all your family and friends and they have complete control over you. And that is what this guy is doing. But the girl, of course, can't see it. To people who have never experienced this, you have no idea what it is like. You cannot comprehend sort of the fear because you don't want to tell family and friends because you are embarrassed about it, because you don't want them to think you're a half-wit. And also, you really fear the retribution that will come if you try to escape from them because, they have become all controlling. So you are really stuck in this horrible limbo where this person has control over you and they have worked on your brain so much that you believe everything they say and that you are much, much better off with them and without your friends. Now, this girl has, gone out with her friends just recently. He had actually gone back over to the west of Ireland. I don't know what for, but anyway, this time she escaped. She didn't have to go with him. And she managed to go out with her friends. And her mother said it was so wonderful to see her daughter dress up again, the makeup, laughing and happy and going back to the way she was. But, she knows that once the evening was over, it's like Cinderella. She's back in her box and back under his thumb and probably living in fear that he will find out that she absolutely dared to go out without his permission. Never mind without telling him. She would need his permission to escape. So I would definitely suggest a counsellor for her on her own that she can sit down and be totally, totally honest with. I mean, her mother, yes, her mother is so important to her and she is going to, oh my goodness, she is going to need her. What her mother's worried about is what happens when this daughter goes to move in with this guy and she either loses all touch or he gets even more control over her. So before that happens, if you are, or if your daughter is in medical insurance, most of them, if not all of them, have a 6-session free counselling session. So you can go to a counsellor or online or in person 6 times before it costs you anything. And either do that, or if she's not in medical insurance, well then to go, if you're not earning a lot, there are counsellors, I think they charge £10 or God, I'm living in the past, €10 an hour, which is, totally affordable. But to be honest, it's no good lying to this counsellor, because going to a counsellor and lying to them, what are you benefiting? You're wasting their time and yours. No, you need to be totally, totally honest with this woman or man and tell them, or go to Women's Aid. They are so used to this. This is every day for them, day in, day out, because it's happening more and more. The thing is, your daughter is young. She probably hasn't had a lot of boyfriends. She's been with this guy for close on 18 months. So she, since she was 18 and a half or whatever, so she is so used to this that she probably doesn't remember what it was like before he was there. So you are going to have to really, deal with this, try and get her to see somebody. Now I'm going to read you something, because I remember we got a lot of these into the Elaine show when I was on that. And this lady this is part of a question. She said, he had no empathy when he hurt me, just gave me the silent treatment, always putting the blame on me. This is explained in the description of a narcissist. This is a real problem and I fell for him. Please discuss this on your program, as all women should be warned about this form of abuse, because it is abuse. Let me see. Narcissists are real, and more men than women. It is a real mental problem. They can be very charming too. This was the reason I took him back so many times. After being with somebody like this, it can have an effect on you of post-traumatic syndrome. And that is so true. I mean, it really does do nasty things to your mind. Your whole personality changes because